special guest in the studio. I love when she's in town, when she's here. She's really based in Houston.
Yes.
Born and raised here, though.
Oh, Cliff, that's my hood.
Talking about attorney Symone Redwine, y'all, back with us. There's so many lawsuits and cases. We need to figure it out. She's here to help us. Here we go. All right, so Symone, you're here, and I love when I was like, girl, please come into this studio, because yesterday when we saw this, it happened with Young Miami now being a drug mule.
Which
Yes.
is
Transporting pink cocaine, which I never knew there were different colors.
Me either.
It's not actually cocaine. It's a synthetic drug made in a lab. It's not supposed to be as dangerous, but it's terrible for you. Don't believe the hype.
Okay, Breaking Bad.
It's more of a Central America drug. That's where it started. It's been around for like 10 years, but it started coming into the U.S. in the last several years. But yes, it's bad.
Okay,
It's not.
so let me ask this question. With it being so bad, and they say she's transporting drugs, is that a case for her? Like, what's going to happen in Young Miami with everything that we heard yesterday?
Yeah, I think those are more facts that could be wrapped up into a RICO case.
Really?
Yes,
Why?
wrapped
What do
into
you mean?
because with RICO, the lowest person in the organization can be charged just the same as the highest person, and they use that to help get people to flip so that they can get that highest person. So here, it could be used to say her drugs were some of the drugs that were given to sex workers that were used to drug people. Those are the types of allegations that could be used, in addition to wire fraud, which we talked about the other day.
City girl, baby.
Listen,
City girl.
JT ain't playing with this.
I know
He said,
it.
"Boop, boop,
I
boop."
saw
She
that
out of
where
there.
JT was live last night or did something, and somebody asked her about using drugs and she lost it. It was like, no, I've never used, and all this other kind of
Just
shit.
real quick, like, what is the typical time for a RICO case? Like, what can we expect if, let's say, for example, he was to get convicted of something like this?
Like, how long does it take for it to take place?
What would be his length of sentence?
Oh gosh, 20 plus years. It's really,
Right.
and there are like with one sex trafficking offense, that could be a minimum 10-year sentence. Just one charge.
And
Yes.
now they said he had 3, right? Because
Correct.
they say it's Daphne Joy, which is 50 Cent's
Oh,
baby mom.
those are sex workers.
Sex
that's a
workers.
little, but the sex trafficking could be either Cassie, it could be Rodney Jones, the gentleman, or it could be any of the other two
That's
women.
right, because the guy Rodney is saying that he kind of coerced him into.
Yeah, that he made him travel with him and perform
Could
sexual
it be
acts.
as simple as maybe an underage girl being a part of a group of girls that was brought to a party and sex was had?
Not quite that easy for sex trafficking. I mean, that could be part of it, but I want to be very clear. With sex trafficking, you don't have to be underage. You can traffic a grown man.
Absolutely.
You can traffic a grown woman. So a lot of people think it's underage, not
I
necessarily.
did think that.
Me too.
Yeah, I thought it was more underage type thing.
Okay, so now here's the other question I have about this. Again, everybody, we have attorney Symone Redwine in with us. When they went in to raid his home, that I had heard though they gave him a tip and said we're coming.
Yes. Not him, not Diddy, but Diddy's lawyers.
So wait, hold on. When you say his lawyers, then the lawyers got to tell him, though.
That's right.
Okay.
That is correct.
Okay.
So, and they do that to keep the peace, keep the safety. It's kind of like we've heard of cases where the cops bust in your house and you get to shooting.
Yeah.
It's to prevent things like
So
that.
is that a privilege thing? So poor people in poor neighborhoods don't get that privilege? Breonna
Unfortunately.
Taylor didn't get that privilege?
She should have, and that's why her family sued, right? But Trump was even given a heads up, and the feds actually made sure to say, because he was like, they barged in and we had no idea, and the feds were like, we called your lawyer, we told your lawyer.
How many days in advance do you get?
So yeah, it's not set, right? So they're not like, we're coming on Tuesday at 3 p.m.
Right. That's so curious. Like, how do they do this?
No, they just say this is going to happen, and they say we want your agreement. You will not be destroying evidence. We want your agreement that this is going to be an easy transition. But in this situation, my thought is, why in the heck were his kids there? If you had the heads up, he had a heads up so much so that he actually turned over his cell phones before getting on the plane, according to NBC. When you were doing that, why you didn't get your boys?
I don't know, but 50 Cent did do a little skit on that. Did y'all see that?
Of course he
Troll,
did.
man.
He did. But I thought the same thing. Why'd you leave your boys there?
Right. I at least tell them, don't come to the house. Don't come to the house.
Maybe to make them not look guilty. I don't have anything to hide. That's our home.
But your children? Then you'll be there.
But all right. Then you yes.
He just left them
Yes,
there.
Diddy. Yeah.
I see what kind of father you're going to be. Hey, kids, they're coming after daddy, but you stay here.
It'll look better.
And both of them,
Call me when they gone.
and both of them are named in the complaint.
be like-
So it's like,
Daddy, where you at? I'm cruising.
No,
What you get ready to say, Symone?
no, I was just saying, are both, Justin and Christian are both referenced in the complaint, and Justin is actually a defendant.
Wow,
The amended complaint made specific allegations that Justin Combs was participating with sex workers, with drugging, with underage girls, etc. So I know Misha Hilton and his mama is hot as fish grease.
I would too. Okay, so here's the other thing then, because I'm trying to figure out what made them go in and do this raid on his, because of the Rodney guy, this producer?
Excellent question. So what happened is the feds went to, and when I say feds, I mean either the feds or Homeland Security. They went to a judge with evidence, enough evidence where this judge says there is probable cause to believe that some form of sex trafficking has occurred, and that the evidence of that sex trafficking is going to be in one of these locations, right? One of these houses. And so I believe it was all of the complaints. It was Cassie's complaint, Jane Doe's complaint, it was Rodney Jones's complaint, and the other young lady who claimed that Diddy and Aaron Hall had assaulted her.
Okay.
All of them.
So when you just said something I thought was interesting, and people said we should be worried about the Homeland Security when they first came up with that whole idea. You said feds or Homeland Security. What does Homeland Security have to do with
Yes.
this?
Homeland Security is the arm that investigates sex trafficking.
Okay.
And that's because a lot of the trafficking is international. So Homeland Security deals with
Crosses
international
borders.
because you cross borders, correct. And some of the allegations are that some of this happened like in the Caribbean, some of it was in America. And so sex trafficking, Homeland Security.
I wouldn't be surprised if a couple of those girls from Dominican Republic or
Oh, yeah.
not Puerto Rico, but
Yeah,
somewhere
those are very
in the Caribbean.
economical women of the night.
Okay,
I used to live there.
No.
Oh. I wasn't one of them, though.
She said economical. Okay, so here's the other thing. With all of this going on with Diddy, how do you see this ending?
I see it ending in an indictment. I believe Diddy will be indicted, more than likely for sex trafficking or some type of RICO violation. RICO being the racketeering, what do we call it? Racketeering.
Oh yeah,
Co-counsel?
Co-counsel got you. Racketeering, influence, and corrupt organizations.
Okay.
Thank you.
co-counsel
Because
got you.
it's too easy. You breathe on somebody who's part of your organization and they part of it. It's too easy.
Oh my gosh.
Can I hire you, Trey?
What's wrong?
So the sex trafficking part, I mean, a couple of people have came out. Are you expecting other people to come forward and be like, you know what, I was involved? Because they say this has been going on for years.
Right. And to clarify what sex trafficking can be, is simply someone telling you, come with me. I want you to come from here to there, and I want you to be with my friends. And you can, if you don't do this, I'm going to hurt you. You're going to have a penalty, this or that. So that's how come the young lady that was Jane Doe, right? She was in 11th grade, she said. And they met her at a nightclub. She got on the private jet in the 11th grade. I don't know where her mom and daddy was, but got on the private jet from Detroit to New York, did it with them, and then he flew her back.
And
that would be
the
considered
trafficking of the sex.
That would be the trafficking, right?
Dang,
That's part of it. So I say because that definition is very loose, I could see a lot of people, particularly people who want access or to be around those entertainers, can be wrapped up in that.
Okay. Let me just say this. Number one, shouts out. Anybody see Mary J. Blige distance herself already?
Oh, yeah.
Mary said, I burn bridges if needed. Bye-bye.
She sure did.
Mary's like,
She
I'm
said,
out
don't
of
come
this."
over here with that.
Right?
She poured gas, lit the match.
Didn't she?
Mary did the Mary dance right up out of it.
But the other thing we got to talk about before, we go in and end this break is this, you guys. There's a medium who predicted this. Remember this medium named Sloan Bella, they said. She predicted about 3-4 months ago that it was going to happen around Easter with Diddy. And some people said it's so accurate. Now she's got everybody scared because guess what else she's predicting?
What?
The downfall of Jay-Z and Beyonce. Take a listen. Pimping and pandering.
Pimping and pandering. That's some alliteration.
Oh God, I hope
No,
not.
Oh, no.
I know
no,
it.
you can't do that.
I know.
I'm not going to let you.
I know. Is this horrible?
Yeah.
And this woman, everybody's saying she was accurate with this, and I just
Yeah,
hope
she's
and pray
been
that
really
it's not
accurate.
true. But cleaning their money, is that what she's saying?
Yeah, and that happens very commonly in the music industry. Like, so many artists get their start by cleaning money, using dirty money, which is what Diddy's band or his dirty money. So it's not unusual, but at this point, I mean, I feel like Jay-Z should be so distanced from that kind of behavior that the statute of limitations should have expired, because it's 5 years for stuff like that.
Why we keep saying we hope
Well,
not,
I hate to
though?
see these. I'm going to be honest. If they're bad and if it's true, then I get it. Justice
Okay.
needs to be served, right? But I'm saying I hate to see all of these people.
Right.
There's so many people who look up to them.
Yeah.
They've inspired so many people. They've done some great things. They've done, you know what I mean? Like, you just don't want to see
And then
people.
whether they're celebrities or not,
Yeah.
you don't want to think that people are capable of doing something so monstrous.
Yeah,
to somebody. You know what I'm
I hope that
saying?
isn't true.
It's just thinking the good of people.
But I'll be honest, I like, if it's criminal stuff, like it's something that's violent, that's hurting people, I look at that differently than you doing white
Right.
collar stuff, like cleaning money. Like,
Oh, I said that earlier, too.
I got bigger fish to fry.
Right, like street
What's wrong,
crimes,
JJ?
right.
I guarantee Jay-Z and Beyonce laid in bed after they heard this medium. I know they were like, you know what? How can we go from October to December?
Because she did say November,
November.
right?
We all gonna be looking.
Yeah.
We all gonna be
we're
looking. Wow. Well, Simone, thank you for coming in
Yes,
and breaking it
yes,
down for
yes.
us. I love when you're in town. Okay.
Thank
Are you gonna be
you.
back in town next week?
Yes, I'll come back to y'all.
And the week after?
Yes, we
Because
work it out.
I love breaking this down because all this stuff is so interesting to me.
Thanks.
How can people find you online and everything else?
Thank you. You can go to SimoneRedwine.com, and you can also go to my Instagram, which is Attorney Symone Redwine with a Y, or dial 855-4-SIMONE with a Y.
I love it.